Happy Wednesday. Somebody wanted to come back for a day 2 with y'all. So that's who I got for Wind Down Wednesday today. Hey, Ma.
Hey, Teddy Boo. I also call her Pumpkin.
Yeah. How y'all doing? Hope y'all having a good week. It's the middle of the week, so if it's not good, we got time to flip it. If it is good, let's turn it into great, okay?
I dare you to have a better week than me. Try it.
Try it. Y'all don't mind these little dumb braids right here. It looked way cuter when I had tape-ins. I guess it's not a natural hairstyle, but it's gonna be one today.
I should have done my hair just like you. Put a little braid down there. You should have told me. I would have done the hair to be the part.
So today
she's gonna delete that.
Okay, y'all, so last week y'all know I tried 19 Crimes, just the red Snoop Dogg wine. And Snoop, if you watching this, it was delicious. But if he's not watching this, if nobody in the Broadus family is watching this, I ain't gonna lie, it was a little too dry for me. Y'all taught me that word, dry. It's not sweet, it's very, very, very dry.
Dry like when you drink it and then your mouth feels thirsty.
Dry like they need to add some sugar into it.
Okay.
Like I had said bitter, but they told me the word is dry.
Okay.
Snoop, if you're watching, boy, that wine was so wet. So today we are going to try, I got a different flavor. I told y'all I got the Cali Rosé as well. It's still Snoop, it's still 19 Crimes, but we're gonna try this one out. Maybe this is the one that I should have tried last week, because I heard this one is better. More up my alley, you know? Do you even like wine? I'm
like you, none dry at all. I can sip on a sweet, but I'm just not really a wine drinker.
Okay, so I'll pour you like a little half a glass. This is for you, Snoop. She drinking for you.
Yo, Snoop.
This is my Martha to my Snoop. She's Martha, I'm Snoop.
There you go. That's so unfair. I ain't been to jail.
Me either. Let's try the wine. Cheers.
I could sip that. You don't like it?
Nah, it's not for me. It's a step above dry.
Right, you can feel the full body, the sweetness, the heaviness.
I feel it trying to break out, but it did not break out. Like it's cool. Like I can drink it and I might finish this, but
it doesn't give that hey Kool-Aid type feel.
Yeah, they got the wrong man on this bottle. These are not Snoop wines, man. These are like, who would you say should be on the front of that?
How would I know?
I'm saying, like an example. Who do you think?
Who would drink a wine like a female?
A female? I'm a female and I don't like it. Yeah, I don't know. So anyways, Snoop is cool. It's better than the one last week, I will say. So if I had to choose between those two, I'm going to go with this one. But if I had a choice of picking any wine in the world in front of my face, I'm not picking neither one. Just put it like that. But I love Snoop. Like if he's in a lineup with other shows, concerts or something, I'm picking Snoop.
But I feel like this is something that I might sit and drink.
Okay, so maybe it's for you. Martha has one too. I didn't get the Martha one. She has one too. That Martha's probably for me.
Ooh, then we're gonna trade in places.
All right, y'all. So today's topic, I asked y'all on Instagram, single parent struggles. Okay, so clearly I asked, like, if you are a single parent or were a single parent, struggles that you had as that parent. That's why my mama is here, because she raised me. And then I also asked, if you are the child of a single parent, like what struggles can you remember having, or like how did that affect you just having one parent? Clearly, I'm going to talk from that perspective. So, Mama, you want to go first or you want me to go first?
First and foremost, as a single parent, I really think the parents need to understand that it was adult situation did not work out, and to keep that separation, that whole trauma away from the child, and do what you can to co-parent, because you're always putting the child in the middle. They start to feel uncomfortable if they're with one parent and, oh, is the other parent going to ask me everything I did today, or they're going to get upset if I did this. Leave adult business, and allow your child to love both parents. And I really think that if you have anything negative to say, about your former partner, don't put it near the ears of your child. Let the child make their own decisions about how they feel about each parent. Don't input that.
I agree, because if you just, kind of drill that into your kid's head, like, oh, I hate your mom or dad, I hate them, I hate them, I hate them, terrible person. Once they get older and they want to find it out for themselves, if it turns out that they're not a terrible person, your child is going to turn around and resent you because you made them miss out on a relationship with their parent. Now, like she said, let them figure it out, find out for themselves. Me and my situation, my mama never told me nothing bad about my dad. She never told me he was addicted to drugs or none of that. When he was going on his drug thing, she would tell me like, oh, he's sick, he'll be back, So I got to a point where I got old enough to see it for myself and realize for myself, like, nah, this ain't it, like, that's not right. I don't want that around me. I'm like, nah, I'm cool, So I agree with you there.
Right, because too, if the child wants to spend time with that other parent, they're even afraid to ask. Even if that parent's invited them, it makes them nervous to come up to you and say, hey, can I spend the weekend at Dad's? If you just constantly say how bad you don't like them, or you make it miserable when they come back. So just do what you can to be adult and say, this child is not involved in that conversation. Allow your child to be comfortable to come between each other as long as it's a safe environment. And that's one thing I just emphasize to her too, is if you're on visits and you do feel uncomfortable, you always know my phone number to contact me. Leave the rest of it at peace. Trust your gut and go with it.
Yeah, because kids are smart, so we're gonna realize pretty quick in life what's going on. You know what I mean? It's not hard to see who's around. Now, I will also say, as a child, you might realize what's going on, like, for face value, but you don't really necessarily understand the whys behind it, because sometimes there's deeper reasons. You know what I mean? It's not always like oh, they're just not a good parent, they're not going to be around. It might be they got issues. It might be, like she said, keep the issues away from the child, but a lot of the times parents don't do that. So a lot of the reasons that parents are not around their child is because they don't want to be around and have to go through that other parent. All that kid sees is, oh, my mama don't want to be around me, or oh, my daddy don't want to be around me. No, they don't want to be around your other parent, but the only person getting affected in that is the child. So don't do that. If you need a middleman, if you need an auntie, a friend, or somebody to be like the drop off or the middle, do that. But don't make your child miss out on a parent if that parent is able and willing to be a parent.
Right. And there's another thing that I always did is, when she became curious, I guess when she was around older kids and realized, hey, they have fathers and I don't have a dad in my house. She knew he was, and she would say, why are you not together anymore? Why aren't you married? Tell them the answer in terms that they can understand at their age. I started out telling her, oh, we just didn't get along. It could be a year or two later, she'll say, well, why didn't you get along? We argued about money. Grown folks argue about money. And you just leave it at that. She asks a question, give it a simple answer that they walk away content until they come back again. And really what she put the pieces together, and finally she's like, Mom, is this the reason you're not with my dad anymore? And at that point in time, it's an appropriate age to have that conversation.
Yep.
And that's how we worked it.
Yep. As the child, I will say some struggles, which as a child, it was like struggles, but in hindsight of life, it wasn't really a struggle, because you kind of learn to deal with it or learn like other routes to go about things. But just like she said, all my friends, everybody around me always had dads. So it was always kind of like okay, something is missing. Like, not feeling like you're not good enough, but like something is wrong. Like, why all y'all got y'all dads and I don't, So struggling with like self-worth has always been a thing. I guess that's what would correlate. Self-worth and feeling like, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, you kind of feel like part of you is missing.
Yeah, so
and you doubt.
Self-worth has always been a struggle, or at least was a lot more when I was younger. I'm kind of getting to a point now where it's not anymore, or at least I'm way better at it now. What else? Just seeing like my mom had to do everything herself. So like I said, all my friends have dads. They have both parents. So if your mama say no, they go ask their daddy. If their daddy say no, they go ask their mama. If it's something expensive, maybe their parents might go half. You know what I mean? And boom, then they get it because each parent only had to pay half. My mom had to do everything herself. So if she couldn't do it,
you had a plan B.
What, my grandma?
Yep.
Yeah, but we're not talking about grandmas. We're talking about parents.
If I don't get my way, call grandma.
Yeah, but that was when I was also real little. Like teenage years and stuff, I didn't really pull that no more. If my mama couldn't get it done, it didn't get done for me. Or if I couldn't do it myself, you know, once I always, from the age that I was pretty much able to have a job, I had a job. Even if it was in like a summer. Remember I worked at a doctor's office? Like I used to go around the neighborhood selling little drawings colored from coloring books, stuff like that. So I kind of knew that I had to make up for my daddy a little bit, but it's like, man, if it wasn't for my mama, it wasn't getting done. Most kids, if you want to go to college, not most, but if you got two parents, if you want to go to college, you might could get scholarships from your dad's side, your mom's side. If not, both of them can come together and make some money and put it together, and boom. My mom had to do all that herself. So as a kid, I used to kind of be mad and resentful kind of about that. Like, oh, you know, if I didn't get something, I'll be mad at her, but not realizing like, well, she's trying. She got to do everything herself. You know what I mean? On top of trying to keep up with these kids because I always chose good friends with money.
Always.
I always have friends with money, man. I don't know, but so it was just, they like nice things. I've always liked nice things. If she had to tell me no, I would be mad. Almost like one of them, like a spoiled brat, I could say almost. But it's like, now that I'm grown, I realize and I feel bad. Like, damn, she really did everything that she could. You know, she got me as much as she could, and I didn't really want or need for nothing. It's just when I would have like a brat moment, I didn't care in the moment. Now that I'm older, I feel bad. But I will say she did the damn thing because like I said, I didn't really want or need for anything. It's just them times where she would have to come and say no, I would feel away. Not realizing that they got both parents to ask. You know what I mean? Their mama probably said no too, but they had a daddy to go ask and follow up with. If my mama said no, it's a no.
And my no was not, I don't got that kind of money, or mine was like, I just can't do it for you now, and she didn't understand why. Yeah. I never tried to put any adult concerns in her yard. Finances, whatever. Yeah, she knew there were times I was out there working 2 jobs. She knows I was working 2 jobs. I was working a regular 9 to 5 on Monday through Friday, but Friday night I'd sleep for a couple hours and I worked through the night at the hotel. Get there at 11 o'clock at night till 7 in the morning. When it got to a point where I could not get daycare for her, she came to the hotel with me and slept on the floor because she was too spooky to go sleep in a vacant room.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, she did not work at a nice hotel. So.
It was Howard Johnson's.
So I was scared of the rooms. I was not sleeping in the rooms. I was sleeping in that back office with my mama. Now that you say that, I remember that. I didn't really remember that because I was, how old was I? Young.
You were in middle? No, you were probably about 8. Probably about 8.
I was young. I didn't really like, we kind of started living good when I turned like 13, 14.
What grade is that? 8th?
Like 8th.
Yeah, right as you were going into
When I got to
high
like 13, 14 is when things turned around. But them first, say 12 years was a little rough, huh? And it still gets rough. It's just 13, 14 started looking up. I was
Right. We, progressed. Started getting more educated, went back to college. Got, finished my degree, which I had, taken a 15-year break in, and was able to get better jobs.
Yep. So kudos
But
to
again,
you, Mama.
she never knew why. Finance was not the subject.
She graduated college. I graduated college as a child of a single parent. As a single parent, it can be done. And you see how close we are. Y'all love us. Y'all love our relationship. So I will say there really is like gifts and curses, I would say. Blessings and lessons to having one parent.
It also depends on the parent. I think because of my attitude toward that, I never wanted you, like you said, to resent me for being mean or negative about your father, and then you missed it. I didn't want that to come back at me. I don't have this, and that's why I always said, reach out to him. That's the hardest thing for us now is some of your traits and tendencies coming out now, or more
Like my dad.
like his, but I can't explain them because they're not natural for me. I keep saying, if you could only reach out and he can explain it to you, is the kind of, that's something that
I agree with that too. As much as he has not been around, I feel like I'm a lot like my father.
Oh yeah.
And I kind of only know that from like stories and stuff. But obviously, I told y'all before, like I was raised by her and his side of the family. So I also feel like it's just because that's the family that I grew up. You know what I mean? We both got the same family. So of course I'm gonna be like him because we have the same family. But I also am him. So
well, I'd say you intelligence-wise, you have a comparable IQ in your thought patterns. Couldn't remember right now whether he's right-handed or left-handed, but things like that that I just can't explain to you. But you'll start to explain something to me, and I'm like, yep, that sounds like something your dad would say, or a process that he thought. I can correlate some of the things that you're going through to things I know he's talked about.
Yep. Okay. So got a few struggles, but I say it's been worth it. How about you?
Oh, definitely. Knowing what tie to cut, and it was him, and we have a beautiful family without as much drama as it would have been leaving it there.
Yeah. Let's see what y'all have to say, because y'all actually had a lot to say. Look at all these responses.
Whoa!
Explaining the absent parent being missing. So as the child, I would say I used to be curious, you know what I mean? Kids are nosy. And I was the youngest of my group of cousins at that time. So like they would pick on me kind of and tell me little things like, oh, your daddy da 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 da. When I'd be like, well, my mama ain't telling me that. They'd be like, well, your daddy da da da. So it's like, I kind of had a lot of questions, but I still knew when I was younger. You know what I mean? And I feel like it's confusing at a young age, but like we both said, you're going to grow up, and not even grow up, because it wasn't when I was grown. You're going to get to a certain point just in life. I want to say I was 8 or 9 years old when I really started realizing, like, okay, I know what's going on, but you're going to see what's going on, and it's not going to be so hard to explain because we see it for ourselves. So as a child, it may be hard. You can, say whatever is easier for you. But as we get older as children, we see it ourselves. And you won't have to explain so much. We see who's been there. I know that there's also times where one of the parent actually keeps that parent, the other parent, away from the kid, and the kid is looking like, oh, my daddy didn't want me, da da da. No, your mom's been keeping them away from you. Certain situations like that, even then, you can grow up, get older, and reach out to that parent. You can figure out what's going on. And I've said this before, we all get to a certain age where we cannot use our childhood traumas as excuses as adults anymore. So if there's something wrong with you, if you feel a void that you're missing, just anything, and you're grown, you need to figure it out. Whatever help you need, if it's from your parents, if it's from therapy, whatever. If you're struggling with a missing parent at an adult age, we got to heal from that. Because what else are we going to do?
Right. And I did say, and when you think about it, it was all natural to you to be that mom as head of household until you compared yourself to others. Then you felt inadequate. So remember, it felt full at first, so it can work. You just have to kind of...
I meant to say that too. A big part of the struggling is comparing. Like I said, all my friends had dads. So what? You don't know what's going on behind them doors. Yeah, they got dads. Them dads could be doing anything. You know what I mean? Hopefully not. But I'm just saying, you don't know what's going on in other people's life, whether they dad or they other parent in their life is a blessing or not. Some people have both parents in their life, and it's very toxic. It's not a good situation. So pick your struggle. You know what I mean? Don't look at the next person and compare. You have to just get in tune with yourself and what you got going on and what God got for you.
And there's different degrees of it, because even in your situation, your father lived out of state for the first 7 years. So again, that goes to the 8 when things started.
He lived out of city.
Then.
I thought he lived in
D.C.
Columbus. Oh, okay.
He lived in Washington, D.C. for a while.
Okay.
And, at that time, yes, you did get to visit him. You did have family gatherings that you were at that he could attend, but it was just, not a sporadic visit opportunity as if he lived in town.
Yeah.
Balancing a social life, I flunked. My social life, I brought her into this world, and I was going to do everything to make her happy, make her childhood the best that it was. So that's the focus that I had. And I'm sure Jade can tell her opinion of what happens to a child when mom makes that child the center of her universe.
It's a gift and a curse, y'all. It's a gift because it's a blessing to have a parent that literally will do any and everything for you at the drop of a dime. A blessing. But as you get older and you want to step into your own life, like when I graduated high school and I wanted to move to Georgia and I wanted to, move around and live my own life, and it's like she was trying to come with me, or she was trying to figure out what we about to do, or what am I going to do now that you're da-da-da. And it's like, Mom, I don't know, but I got to go. You know what I mean? Like, I love you, but it's time for me to go see what the world has to offer. But it makes you feel bad. Like, dang, I don't want to leave my mama because I know, like, it's me and her. So if I leave, she's by herself. But at the same time, it's time for me to go see what life is talking about for me, So it's cool. Like, it's a blessing in a way where, like, you really got my back. But it's like, you got to have your back, too. You cannot drop and lose yourself just because I'm here now. And if you're doing that with y'all kids, don't do it. As a child, it's the best friends. But as we get older, we get our own friends. We want to go do our own things. I love my mama still. But I got friends that if I want to go do something fun, or you know what I mean? Like, I'm going to call them. There's other things that I call for my mama. But, like, it's just, you got to have a balance. Because if I'm not calling her and she want to go do something fun, but I don't want to go do that with her, then who are you going with? You know what I mean? And I'm always going to feel bad for that. Like, dang, she really only got me. So it's like, don't lose your own life for your kids.
No, yeah, I would highly not recommend that.
Yeah, I would highly recommend. There's got to be a balance. Don't feel bad dropping them kids off to get babysitted for a couple hours while you go out and have some fun. Don't feel bad, picking something that you like to do and maybe every once in a while buying something for you instead of them kids. Not obviously something that they need, but like, oh, if you see some, I don't know, like a jacket, like, oh, my daughter would look so cute in that. She already got 10 jackets at home. You need a jacket. Don't get that for your daughter. Get that jacket for you. It's okay. Y'all got to lose your guilt behind putting yourself first sometimes, I feel like. Because we all right. Like, you put us first enough. And we're going to get to a certain age where we have to put ourselves together, and we have to know how to put ourselves together and put ourselves first. And if you constantly are doing everything for us, everything our whole life, we might struggle with that when we get older, Not having the ability to tap out, it's all on me. I don't get a break. You need a break, baby. Like, I know it's hard to find the time. I know it could be almost seem impossible to have some me time, to go do something for yourself. Even if you got to tell them kids to go sit in their room and you in your room with your candles lit, your music playing, your door locked, leave me alone. I need an hour or two, whatever. Like, leave me alone. Even if it feels like you got to be mean to your kids, like, leave me alone. I just told y'all yesterday she didn't do that. You know what I mean? I'll walk in the door, you looking at me like that, but that's because you didn't do that. I wouldn't bother you if you did that. You know what I mean? If my kids, if I need me, y'all know I don't play about myself and my me time and my self-love these days. If I need some me time, I'm sorry, kids. Like, I know if you're a newborn baby, you need me. If you're not a newborn baby, you take a nap. You know what I mean? If you're at a certain toddler age, you can play even in the same room as me. You could play, but I need a nap. You know what I mean? Like, take that break for yourself. You have to find ways to put yourself first sometimes, to take that break from your kids. If it's when they sleep at night, you know what I mean? I know, of course, you try to be asleep when your kids are asleep so you don't be tired, but nah, sometimes let them kids go to sleep, maybe a little early. Maybe wake them up a little late. Have yourself some me time. Me time is important, not just for you, but for your kids too, because as a child who grew up with a mom who just put them as their world, I'm grown now and I'll ask her about certain things like, oh, how did you do this when you was this age, da, 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 and she don't have an answer for me because she didn't go through those things. And it's just like, Mom, like, I know I could not have really been your whole life from 26 and up, but I really was.
She really was. But see, she forgets when I would say, Jade, can I just have the day off? No, Mama, no. But I just want a day. Maybe just a couple.
I don't forget. I'm a child. You didn't put me in a child's place. You got to tell a child, be a child. You didn't tell me that. I'm still respectful, but it's certain things like that, like you just never did, so I didn't do it,
But the part of it is just like with that other thing is a parent's guilt, because, there's some of us in the world that will put things on us even if it's not on us. So my marital situation was what it was, but leaving it, you feel like, but I took that opportunity away from her of having that father figure. Yes, I can put that blame on me, but I can also realize the reality was it saved her a lot of drama and pain, and I have to put more emphasis on that.
My dad always saying, you can call me sometimes, like I'm not the kid in this relationship. I feel you, because there's been a few times where like I've heard that my dad wanted to talk to me or wanted to, you know, something, and he was waiting around expecting on me to call him. Why? I didn't ask to be here. Like, I used to live in your pants, sir. Like, you brought me here. Why I gotta be the one to pick up a phone and call you and you want to talk to me? Some people don't know how to grow up. That's a maturity thing. Also, at the same time, I feel like it's a guilt thing. They may not want to reach out because they got a different type of guilt feeling because they know what type of parent they've been to you. But that's not an excuse either. Like you said, you're the child. You didn't ask to be here. The parent, you brought me here, so figure it out. You know, like, that's how I feel. I stand on that. I don't like that either. Don't expect me to be the one reaching out all the time, or period, when it's struggles, and you the one that, we don't have a relationship because of you, and you the one that brought me here, so why am I reaching out?
I can agree, and it gets to that point. It built up on you. You know, there's times I think you've both hurt each other's feelings, and unfortunately, it takes the bigger person. It must be the adult that puts their heart on their sleeve and steps out there, even if they're going to come back with, you know, a chewed off arm. You have to stick it out there and try every so often. She shuts you down now. Give it some time, try again. But ultimately, she's waiting on you to make reprimands for the past, but those are of great value and consequence. It's hard to have to suck it all up and apologize and admit guilt and wrong. That's all I can guess is, or, you know, basically you chose not to be around. See, I mean, I'm seeing some of these, like these after school sports and stuff like that. It's hard, but you make it work. There was a point in time with Jade that she was going to a part-time kindergarten. So I would have to take her to her kindergarten, drop her off, run to work. Then 3 hours later, her kindergarten got out. I took my lunch period to run and pick her up and drop her off at her daycare, run back to work, and then I made up that time at work and then go pick her up at the daycare. I mean, you do what you can to make it work. There were times where Jade had they call it a half day, but it was a 3-hour kindergarten, then she had to have somewhere to go afterwards. So I ended up dropping her off at kindergarten, running to work, taking my lunch break at 11 o'clock to run and picking her up from kindergarten to drive around the corner and drop her off at her daycare and run back to work and make sure I, made my full 8-hour day and then go pick her up. I did have people on standby if she wanted to do something after school, but there was also latchkey at her school that lasted as long as the sports teams, practices and whatnot. So that kind of works. Sometimes you just have to use your resources and make things work. And sometimes those resources come from within, come from other parents at the school. Meet those parents as you cross paths, dropping them off at school. They're helpful people. The hardest thing I had to do, I hated going to school and the teacher would come up to me and say, "Miss Malden, it's your time to do the class's laundry." And they'd give me this laundry that I got to do on top of ours. I don't have it. What if I'm going to the laundromat? You just cost me more. Blah, blah, blah. It was things like that where I had to be like the other families and do what they do. But all the other stuff, I just made work.
I love that. As a single parent child, I feel that I didn't have a lot of struggle because I had a village family. It really does take a village to raise a child. I 100% agree. I have, like I said, I was raised by her and my dad's side of the family, so I got aunties, cousins, everything. But it was, for a long time, it really was just me and you, for the most part, until Sarah came around. When I got older, that village got 10 billion times bigger. Like, I have a town now, you know what I mean? Like, I don't really, if I can't talk to my mama, I know who to go talk to. If I can't figure something out with my mama, I know who I can go talk to. The older that I got, I actually feel like my village, if it didn't get bigger, it got better in quality. That's
Definitely
what I'm trying
better
to say.
in quality, yeah.
I don't remember no old lady downstairs. Like, thank you, shout out to you. But I'm just trying to say, as I got older, my village got better. But that village is important. So it's good that you felt like you didn't miss nothing or struggle for nothing, because that village made up for it. I definitely 100% agree that you need a village. If you don't have one, it's cool. Like, it will get done either way. But a village definitely helps. One more, y'all, because the camera is tripping and it's already been like 65 minutes.
Somebody said, I'm a single parent. I'm not struggling. It's just messed up. He don't see his choice. I thought that often, but the best you can say is, but I'm living every one of them. I heard her first word. I saw her first step. I pulled out her first tooth. And all you can say is, you know, you opted. You weren't around by choice and you missed those things. Don't carry that weight. That's not yours. That's theirs based on choices that they made, which resulted in, you know, you not being able to be together.
And also, they really, like, it's their choice now, and they might feel good about that now, but life is literally a cycle. So say you're their only child. Like in my situation, I'm my father's only child. What you gonna do when you get old and there's nobody around to take care of you? And I'm not saying that to be like, you know, to put that on him or to wish that on him. I'm not. I don't wish that on nobody, to be old and lonely, but it's like you've been living your whole life with a whole child here in this world that you don't involve yourself with. Life is a cycle. You're going to get old. I see my aunts and uncles, his siblings, taking care of my grandmother now. You're going to be that old in that spot one day. What are you going to do? You know? And I understand there's nursing homes and whatnot now, but it's just like, don't feel bad about that, because karma and God always got a way of circling back around. You know what I mean? Like I just said, he's going to get old and then what?
Yeah. I said, don't wish him evil.
I don't wish that. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying it to wish him bad at all. I'm not saying that. It's just a fact. It's just the way that I think. I always think about that, though. Like, I'm not even, and I don't wish bad on him. If he has somebody, great. You know what I mean? If he got another child I don't know about, cool, you take care of him. But I'm just saying, life is a cycle. There's a reason for everything, and every action has a reaction, and every action has a consequence. So, like she said, that's not your guilt to carry. Don't carry it. Let God and karma and time deal with that. And hopefully he'll want to come back around, you know what I mean, and be able to mend that relationship. Maybe not. But you don't carry that guilt. You're doing your part. And when you old, your kid's going to be wiping your butt. You good.
And it's also your nurturing instinct as a woman. Men don't feel like that. Those things don't matter to them as much as they do to us. We're more emotional. They're more the protector.
So, bottom line, y'all, there's definitely struggles being a single parent and as a child of a single parent, but I wouldn't trade my mama for the world, and I don't think that she would trade me for the world either.
Never.
I love you, I thank you, I appreciate you. It will work out, y'all. The struggle is worth it.
It definitely is.
I can't lie. The struggle is worth it. And if you're down about it now, don't be down about it. Look at your child or look at your parent and kiss them. Give them a hug. And if you aren't down about it and you're happy you living a great life, keep living that great life, because it's y'all, man. Y'all locked in. Ain't no switching up.
And you could get this.
If we locked in. Supposed to say ain't no switching up. If we locked in.
Ain't no switching up.
Yeah. That was Wind Down Wednesday, y'all. We love y'all. Thank you for tuning in. We got to finish our wine.
They called me the fish in college for that reason.
Ain't no in my blood.
Ain't no wine in your blood.
No, that's not the words of the song.
Oh, yeah.
Ain't no in my blood.
I'll have to read the lips in the video if I watch the video.
We love y'all. Make sure that you like, comment, share, subscribe, click the bell notification so you can see us drop, see me drop. She did 2 in a row, y'all. I don't know when the next time she's coming back, so hopefully soon.
Bye, y'all.
Have a good night.
Take care. Peace.
Happy Wind Down Wednesday.